Bibliophiles of the internet. My name is Adriana and today I'm ready to share with you all a book haul, the books I bought in February to be exact. I could say more about that, but let's just jump right in. The first book I have to show you is Karen Memory by Elizabeth Bear. This book is so many things that I enjoy: Western, steampunk, queerlit. Of course I'm gonna get it. There's a lot going on in the summary of this book and I'm not entirely sure I know exactly what's gonna happen in the story. I do know it's set in the late 19th century and the main character Karen works in a high quality bordello. So it might be about like badass prostitutes taking down the government or solving mysteries or neither or both. Honestly, I'm just excited to find out. Ivan from Sona Azara told me about this book and he told me the main character is a lesbian. One of the central reoccurring supporting characters is a trans woman, and there's also a possibly pansexual man in the mix who is in a relationship with said trans woman. So what's not to like? Also, I should add that I don't think this book qualifies as own voices, but I am still excited to read it nonetheless. Then I pre-ordered Remembrance by Meg Cabot. This is the 7th and newest addition to the Mediator series, which I marathoned through last year and really enjoyed. It wasn't my favorite Meg Cabot series ever, but I still liked it for the most part, and I really enjoyed Suze and Jesse and their relationship, and I can't wait to see where they are in this book. Obviously, I can't say much about this, but I think Suze is back at it again, kicking ass and violently putting ghosts to rest and solving mysteries and hopefully just being awesome as she normally is. Then I also pre-ordered King's Rising by C.S. Picat. I actually did an entire spoiler-free trilogy review / discussion, which I will link down below, but I think y'all know what this trilogy has done to me. I remember when this book released, it was so crazy because I feel like everyone everywhere had trouble with their pre-orders, myself included, and this was supposed to get to me 3 days after the release date, which was completely unacceptable and unbearable, so I ended up pre-ordering the ebook as well because there was no way, no how I was gonna wait one more second than necessary to read this conclusion, so I own the ebook as well. I love this trilogy, I will never recover, and I am still nowhere near okay. Then I bought Pax by Sarah Pennypacker, which is a great name, is it not? This is a middle grade novel and I think it's also historical fiction. The two main characters are a boy named Peter and his fox named Pax, who he has raised ever since Pax was a kit. But when Peter's father joins the military, Peter is forced to release Pax into the wild and leave him behind. Peter is consumed by grief and regret, and he actually strikes out on his own to try and find Pax again so they can be reunited. Listen, it's basically that damn sad scene in The Fox and the Hound that makes you cry buckets and oceans for days, except for in this, the owner actually goes after the fox they had to let go. But I think even so, I'm still gonna cry a lot. Then I got A Silent Voice Volume 1 by Yoshitoki Oima. This is a slice of life kind of story about a young deaf girl named Shoku who was severely bullied, mostly by a young man named Shoya, to the point where she was driven out of her school, and then the two meet up I think 6 years later, and it's mostly about whether Shoya can even begin to make up for his past mistakes. What really interested me about this series is that the main character is deaf, and I'm very curious to see how that will be portrayed visually, whether Shoko will be signing or communicating primarily through written notes. I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. Then I got Volume 1 of Behind the Scenes by the one, the only Bisco Hattori. Bisco Hattori is the creator of Oran High School Host Club, if you did not know that, and I love it. It's fantastic. You need it in your life. I know very little about this new series besides the fact that the main character Ranmaru Kurisu is a college student who doesn't really know what he's doing with his life. One day while he's on campus, he stumbles onto a movie set and he is for some reason convinced that it's real and he ends up fainting. When he comes to, he is impromptu inducted into the art squad, which is essentially a group of weirdos. So in that way, the premise is set up very similarly to Oran High School Host Club, but I love Oran so much you have no idea, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And when I start these series, I will maybe do a Manga Monday video for both of them, we'll see. Then I got The Abyss Surrounds Us by Emily Skrutsky. This story is sci-fi and queerlit, and it also has intersectionality because the main character is Asian, and there's actually an Asian girl on the cover. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that? The main character, Cassandra, is basically a reckoner trainer in training, and reckoners are these huge, genetically engineered sea monsters which were created to protect ships as they cross the pirate-infested Neo-Pacific. So while Cassandra is being trained, I think the ship she's following is taken over by pirates, and she kind of develops a love-hate relationship with a lady pirate, which I'm into. From what I know, this book is not own voices, which is a little bit disappointing, and I've also heard some mixed things about it as well, but I'm still eager to read it for myself. Last but not least, I pre-ordered A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. And just so you know, this is a signed copy. This is the sequel to A Darker Shade of Magic, but I think everyone and their mother already knows that. Even though I haven't been able to find the time to read this book yet, I'm still really excited to do so because I know there's like a crazy magical competition that comes into play. Rye is getting a male love interest, and if Victoria Schwab's tweets are to be believed, Lila is a gender-fluid thief. So I will be looking very closely at those elements, but I'm still really excited to get to it. I know a lot of people feel differently, but I really enjoyed book 1, and I think I'm going to enjoy the sequel as well. So those are all the books I picked up in February. Of course, I would love to hear from you if you have read any of these books or if you plan to read them in the future, or feel free to let me know what are some books that you've picked up lately. But that is everything I had for this book haul today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the flip side of the page.